This is a quick video on UV making and AO baking. So I've just set up a cube with a plane underneath so that we can get some ambient occlusion on it. I go into UV editing mode up here. There's different ways to make a UV. What I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to join like Control J these items together so they're just one. I'm going to tab into edit mode. And up here you get a UV tab. But you have to be in edit mode, otherwise you won't see it. I'm going to select my edge tool. But first of all, I'm going to show you just how to do an automatic AO. Sometimes when you want to do something speedy and you don't really care how it's mapped. You just go to Unwrap and you've got Smart UV Project. It gives you settings on what you want the margins to be, etc. I'm just going to add a little bit of margin so that the items aren't stuck together completely. Okay, there you go. If you want to change the settings that you did, it's down here. Smart UV Project. Like if those margins are a bit big, I can reduce them here. But as you can see, the cube is completely decomposed. But it still works this way. So like that's a fast way to UV map. Otherwise, if you want to create your map, you're going to have to mark the seams individually. So for example, I'm just going to select all the edges of the base here. I'm going to type mark seam. And as you can see, they go red. When they're red like that, that means that's the UV map. And as for the cube, I'm just going to mark all the seams and then I'm going to remove some so that I get a shape which is all in one. There we go. This is just practice basically. It's like learning how to do a puzzle. You'll get better as you go along. Usually you just unwrap and see what it looks like and see if it's convenient for you or not, and if not then you just change your seams. It's not a big deal. It's easy to continue and move on like that. So then you just like select everything in edit mode, unwrap and unwrap again. And here you can see our cube is totally in one piece, which is easier, like for example if it's a gift and I want all the wrapping paper to be in same position or whatever. I can modify the margins down here again, same as before. And say I want to move things around, I'm just going to click on the items, but by default you're clicking vertices. You can grab them and deform them or whatever, but we just want to move the whole thing. So you've got these tools down here that you can play with, different selection tools. This last one allows you to select the whole object and then you can just grab and move it around however you need it to be. Okay, I'll let you play with the other tools. It's pretty visual, so you'll be able to find out what it does by itself. Of course you can R to rotate stuff. You can select just edges, and oh yeah, one thing that you need to know how to do is like this little keep UV edit mode here, this little white thing. What it allows you to do is select things in the UV and it will show you the selection here. Okay, so say I want to move this and it's actually selected here, and vice versa. So that's often handy when you don't quite know where the problem is and you need to find it. And here, when you see nothing in the UV, when you've unclicked this, it's normal because you only see what's selected. So if you want to select it, you have like A, so everything's selected. With your mouse over here and then come back over here and then you can select everything again. Okay, now we're going to move on to Ambient Occlusion. So I'm going to go back into, oh no, I'm going to stay here actually. I'm going to open a tab on the side and I'm going to, because I need to see my, my properties here. I'm going to go into this one here, into world. I'm going to check ambient occlusion. You You can play with the factor. That's how deep the shadow or dark the shadow is going to be. I use multiply here. On my samples, I'm going to crank this up. This will make it, the higher you go, the more detail there is, the slower it will be. I usually do around 15, 17, something like that. That's for my purpose, that's fine. And then you're going to go into render mode, down to bake, and you're going to choose Ambient Occlusion. And you're going to bring the margins down because you really don't need margins that are big, like 1, 2 is fine. Okay, and just to show you what you're going to do wrong, because it happens a lot, you're going to click bake because everything's ready, and it's going to say no objects or images to bake, and you go, what? So what you need to do is come over here, and it's because you've got your UV but you haven't created an image for it to bake on. So you're going to create a new image. Okay, here you can choose the dimensions you want, like 512, or anyway, you know the different dimensions. I don't want an alpha, I want a black background, but that's up to you. So I'm going to take off the alpha and click OK. And now I've got an image for it to actually bake onto. Okay, and I'm going to call it my AO or whatever. Okay. And here I'm going to go into texture mode so that I can see what's going on. I'm going to N up this menu, just type N, and I'm going to make it shadeless so that I don't get any extra shadow, that I just see the texture. Okay, now we're set up. I'm going to click bake. And you can see the texture's baking here. You can see up here the timeline. It's pretty fast, it's done already, basically. There we go. You have your ambient occlusion. Now, this ambient occlusion is a bit grey. I like mine to be like really black and white. So I'm going to click normalize, and I'm going to bake again, just to show you the difference. And you can see that's a lot whiter. That's nice. Okay, well that's it basically. Just one last thing, I'm going to show you how to export your maps. So just go down here to image, save image as my AO. There we go. And then we're going to go to, then we're going to pop into edit mode again, tab into edit mode, and then you get this little UV menu here, okay, which also has a lot of other stuff that you are going to want to look in when you're learning to do UVs in more detail. But you go to UV, export UV layout, and we're going to call it my UV. And if we look in the folder, here we are, my UV. Okay, I hope that was helpful. I tried to go fast, but it took a bit longer than I thought it would. So happy baking and have a good day.